To Benin now, where voters will elect a new leader on Sunday. Patrice Talon, the president, is stepping down at the end of his second term, the maximum he's allowed to serve. The main opposition party's candidate, though, is not on the ballot. Let's bring in Ahmed, Idris, who's in Cotonou for us, the capital of Benin. You are at a rally for the ruling party's candidate, I understand, Ahmed. What's the mood like, and how much enthusiasm is there for this election?
For the supporters of the governing party, is celebratory. Remember, most of the opposition to President Talon, most of the people who could pose a potential threat to his successor has been eliminated. We have only one candidate running against the governing party here in the Benin Republic. So people here and most supporters of President Talon feel that this is just a walkover. And it all points to that. But the only question will be whether or not the voting population will turn out in huge numbers to elect. The last election, we had only just over 50% of participation. Considering the recent developments, the barring of political opponents in running for this election may impact probably the outcome or the turnout at the polling booths on Sunday. So the mood is celebratory for the governing party here in Cotonou and most other parts of the country. However, that is not to discount the fact that there is an opposition here, despite the fact that people are saying that it's just a formality, it's been brought in to legitimize the election process. But again, there is an opposition. This is exactly what the government spokesman told us a short while ago.
Right. I was going to ask you about the credibility of the election, given that the main opposition party's candidate is not on the ballot.
Exactly. That's a huge question, not only for supporters of the opposition parties here in Benin Republic, but also a concern for observers from across the globe. Because people are wondering why 16 years ago, when President Patrice Talon was voted into office, there were 33 candidates that were on the ballot initially who contested. Eventually, that number has trickled down to only 2. And the two political parties, in fact, are being considered as most likely favoring the government side. The political opponents here believe that they will not call for a boycott, but again, they won't also call on their supporters to participate in what they call a sham election. So for their own, on their own part, they believe that the election is not credible enough, simply because they have been sort of struck off the ballot for now. And observers are insisting that whatever happens, the poll must go on so as to keep Benin on the democratic path and also ensure peace and stability in one of the West African countries considered a safe island for democracy in Africa.
Thank you very much, Ahmed, for that. That's Al Jazeera's Ahmed Idris reporting there live from Cotonou in Benin.